everyone, and welcome back to Sunrise Tarot. My name is Leah, and today I'm doing a reading for the sign of Aquarius for the month of December. I've already meditated on the cards, I've already shuffled the cards, and this is the spread that I have for you today, dear Aquarius. Also, please remember that this is a general reading. There may be some parts that do not resonate. Only take the parts that do and leave the rest. You may also want to check out your other signs as well. So in the past position, we have the Ten of Swords, clarified by the Two of Cups. In the obstacle position, we have the Knight of Wands, clarified by the Four of Swords. In the present position, we have the Ace of Cups, clarified by the Knight of Swords. And in the future outcome position, we have the Hierophant, clarified by the Nine of Wands. So definitely in the past position, we have this scary looking Ten of Swords, which of course suggests that there is or was in the recent past, or perhaps a past that was, quite a long time ago, but you can still feel the effects of it. There was some dead energy and some anxiety and some sleepless nights. But the good thing about the Ten of Swords card is that it is in the past position, which suggests to me that the worst is over. It is behind you. You are turning over a new leaf. You've already turned it over, and you are kind of moving forward. You may still feel that anxiety. You may still feel that fear, that having transformation can leave someone feeling effects of it, and of course that those can be painful. It could be that there was some intolerance as you were going through a transformation. There could have been also some aggressiveness as well, which made it sort of difficult, which is why it is showing up in this spread. A little bit of betrayals, a little bit of backstabbing. Definitely the Ten of Swords is a death by 1,000 cuts. It does suggest that there may have been people contributing to the situation, making it worse, perhaps saying hurtful words, because as we know, the swords actually stand for words, suggesting that some people said things behind your back that were quite hurtful. And of course it is clarified by the Two of Cups here, which is generally known to be a love card, a union card, but as we know, love comes in different forms. It can also be about partnership. It can be about friendship. It can be about someone that you see as a part of like a sports activity or something. It is equal energy, the Two of Cups. It's about you get what you give, so equal give and take, if you will. But definitely this combination is not very good. I mean, it's suggesting that the partnership was not founded, did not have a really strong foundation, that you had hopes for something that you were holding really close, near and dear to your heart, but unfortunately this combination is pretty devastating, because it suggests there was some sort of a loss, some sort of a defeat, a failure. Perhaps it's a working relationship, if you will, but definitely you learned a lot from it. You learned things to do and things not to do, and how to pay attention to different signs. In the obstacle position, you have the Knight of Wands, clarified by the Four of Swords, and of course the Knight of Wands is generally a very positive card. It suggests new adventures coming your way, but in the obstacle position, it suggests that there may be a lack of progress, and you may feel a little bit of setbacks, perhaps in a personal relationship that means a lot to you, perhaps in a partnership at work, or a friendship with someone. But the Knight of Wands, Wands is about energy, of course. The Wands are represented by fire element, and of course fire can be quite unpredictable. It's also very passionate. But in the obstacle position, the Knight of Wands suggests that you may have some excess energy that you do not know what to do with, and therefore bad things happen. Usually, in the old times, our ancestors would go out there and hunt, I don't know, a boar or a mammoth or something, and then they would bring it, drag it back home, and cook it by the fire and then just go to sleep, right? That was all they did, and that kind of filled their entire day. Fast forward to the modern times, we rely and delegate on gadgets and people and whatnot. So a lot of times that pent up energy that needs to be released, and what happens is when it's stored day after day after day and you don't release it, it then kind of releases itself inside your body. And there are, anxieties or depressions, or there's some sort of headaches, or there's something, I don't know, a tail that comes out, out of a strange place or something. You know what I mean? It's when you don't release that excess energy, it will be put to negative, things or events, if you will. It's important to not feel overly confident as a result of having the Knight of Wands. It's important to not feel overly arrogant because it spells failure that may actually happen. The Knight of Wands is clarified by the Four of Swords, and we know that the Four of Swords is a card of rest because we see this person that is resting, and this fourth sword is kind of buried, which means burying the hatchet, letting go, forgiveness. However, in the obstacle position, the Four of Swords suggests that you're actually getting the opposite. So lack of rest, not getting enough rest, feeling burned out, feeling exhausted, not accomplishing what you want to accomplish because things are just falling out of your hands and you're being sloppy about it. The Four of Swords is, it kind of does not give you clarity. It kind of gives you confusion and makes it makes the water, really dark, and you can't see to the bottom. So it's like your mind becomes not as clear. You're not seeing sort of what you need to do, what you need to cut out in order to move forward, and so you're kind of stuck. And this is an energy of lack of progression here in this combination. It could be that there's also a little bit of bitterness that you may be feeling in the month of December. It could be that there's a little bit of regret as well that you may be feeling in the month of December. You may be feeling a little bit isolated and not supported, not a lot of warmth, like emotional support that is given to you. However, that will quickly change. As we know, the swords are air element, and the time frame for air element is usually a few days, no more than a week. So, and the wands also move rather fast. And again, these are not significant obstacles. Both of these cards are not major arcana cards. They are a little bit of an omen for you, to take note, to make sure that things don't get out of control later. But in December, I do believe that you will be having a little bit of frustration and irritation, but it is not something that you will not be able to solve with a few phone calls, or maybe with a trip somewhere, or maybe with a slightly unpleasant conversation or something. This is not an obstacle that is going to prevent you from moving on forward. Now, in the present position, we have the Ace of Cups, which is really powerful. Card clarified by the Knight of Swords, which is definitely an interesting combination. And also here, I'm looking at the wands and the swords. They generally don't like each other, so there may be a little bit of tension and a little bit of stress and anxiety in equal amounts, both at home and at school or at work or wherever you may find yourself to be. But in the present position, we've got the Ace of Cups, and the Ace of Cups is all about new beginning. It's all about leveling up spiritually, and it's experiencing joy, experiencing creativity. December is the month of holidays. People generally are in a good mood. They're cheerful, they're kind, they're and warm, and that is what you're going to see through this card in the month of December. You're definitely going to be in the holiday spirit. You're definitely going to kind of get caught up and really enjoy this wonderful moment of fulfillment and contentment as well. It's a card that reminds us to be grateful for the things that we do have in our life. Of course, we always want a bigger car, a bigger home, a bigger bank account, whatever it may be, whereas people on the opposite side of the world may, have none of that and still be, very happy. The material possessions do not make a person happy, but, feeling that spiritual contentment does provide sustenance for the soul. The Ace of Cups is also about leveling up spiritually, because we see this bird sort of coming from the heavens and filling the cup. It definitely suggests that you're leveling up, that you're becoming a little bit more aware, you're becoming very emotionally smart and able to differentiate between different emotions, which emotions serve you well, which emotions kind of keep you back as well. It's a really powerful card, and very pure in the sense of emotions. You really are going to feel something wash over you, where you're just going to be really peaceful, and you're going to experience healing, and you're going to really feel like, things are okay. Life is really good, and if it's not good, then it's really kind of getting there. It's a powerful omen, and it's a really good one. The Knight of Swords suggests that you may meet someone. There may be someone who comes into your life over the month of December. Do be careful. I believe that the suit of swords is a challenge suit. So the Knight of Swords, many people believe, is quite positive. It's a person that brings perhaps good news. They are very fast moving. But in my experience, I believe that swords always have a cost associated with them. So there may be a new person. It could be someone at work. It could be someone in your close family circle. There is going to be new energy that it makes an entrance, and kind of give it a little bit of time. Be patient around this energy, because it may prove to be a little bit aggressive, and it may prove to be a little bit opinionated and have quite a difficult temperament. It's definitely a reminder, the Knight of Swords, that it's not the time to compromise. The Knight of Swords understands that there can only be one winner, and so he charges ahead because he realizes that the time to act is now. It's not the time to sit around and wait. And so at times when this card appears, it could be that yes, you need to put a lot of action behind your words, but at the same time, like I said, the swords have costs associated with them, and the swords are not the warm, they're not warm energy, like for example the cups are. The swords are very intellectual, and they're cold, and they're far more focused on reasoning rather than on the heart. So the divine here says follow the heart rather than reason, because the heart is ultimately either it's being neglected, maybe you have not spent too much time opening your heart chakra in the past few months, but the divine here suggests that you want to focus on the heart. It does not mean that it should be that reason should be kind of pushed aside, but the heart should be definitely the main force behind perhaps a decision that you're making, or perhaps the energy that is changing. You should focus on the emotional warmth rather than intellectual energy, because the intellectual energy, as we see with these two cards, it kind of drains your energy, and it is too analytical, and it's kind of it doesn't remind us why we are alive in the first place. Emotions drive us. Emotions make us have happy families and wonderful experiences, and all of those things. So it's important to not ignore your heart chakra. Now, in the future outcome position, we have the Hierophant. The Hierophant here is a major arcana card, and it's loaded with symbols. Yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of symbols in this card. But the Hierophant is a Taurus. It's Taurus energy. It's represented by the Taurus. So it's very, I don't see any pentacles in this reading. So definitely the Hierophant is a very, very big reminder for you to ground yourself. Grounding yourself is important in order for you to feel kind of stable, in order to feel like you are, moving in the right direction. But the Hierophant is a major arcana card, and it is a number 5 card, as we see here at the top. And number 5 corresponds with intellectual energy, analytical energy. It's also like in the middle, so it's also like kind of a mediation type energy, transitional energy. So there's something you're going to have to adapt to towards the end of December and going into this new year. You're still going to feel powerful, and you're still going to pursue your dreams and goals, and you'll be going in the right direction. But this is a little bit of an omen from the divine that suggests that you are focusing on knowledge, because of course the Hierophant is traditional and conservative. He is all about those values, but what is interesting to me, and has always been interesting to me about this card, number 1, the crown and the gesture. The Hierophant here holds up 2 fingers, as we see. And this gesture suggests to be still and to listen. Listen to your inner voice, and differentiate that inner voice from perhaps a bit of an ego, and perhaps other people that may fill your head with their words and their opinions and their ideas. The divine honors you, and so you should honor yourself as well. The Hierophant is a very powerful card that brings intuition into this reading. The divine says that intuition needs to be developed, that you need to kind of focus on how you feel emotionally, because it will help you develop your intuition as well. And so what I like about that gesture is it's about being still and listening to your inner voice and hearing things with your inner ear, and listening and paying attention, reminds you that it is a blessing. It is a blessing to receive knowledge. It's a blessing to be taught the mysteries of life. It is a blessing to be kind of initiated, as you move from stage of your life to another stage, you get initiated. And the Hierophant here is saying that you're moving forward, you're leveling up. You are receiving this download from the divine world, where you're growing wiser and you're becoming more stable, as we know, because of the Hierophant. And the basic message of the Hierophant is, walk this mysterious path, because to each person we are walking this path we've never walked before, but walk it with practical feet. Do things that are reasonable, that help you move forward. We must regenerate ourselves, and the more we move through life, we kind of learn how to overcome those limiting beliefs that perhaps we started out with. And it gets us closer to who we truly are. And it gets us to basically learn who we are. Know thyself, as a Greek philosopher once said. But it's all about developing your intuition, not overriding reasoning, not saying that reasoning doesn't have value. But intuition also has value, and that needs to be definitely kind of developed more. Otherwise, you would not have received the Hierophant card. He tests our inner voice, to make sure that we really feel grounded, to make sure that we really know where we're going and how we're getting there. One other thing I like to point out is that he has this crown, which is this triple level crown. And the first kind of level is 3, the second is 7, and the last one is 5. So 3 is obviously all about Trinity, 7 is all about, sacred planets, and we also have 7 chakras in our body. There's also 7 days in a week. And the last one level is 5, which is the 5 basic elements, and that is earth, fire, water, air, and the last one is quintessence, which is known to be kind of like a form of dark energy, if you will. So, you can imagine how powerful this Hierophant is and how full of wisdom and knowledge. And he's really kind of the bridge between, the divine and our world. And he's teaching us, this sacred knowledge. He has dominion over creation. He's a master of body and soul and spirit. And another thing I like is that we see these 2 monks that he's sort of passing this knowledge to, and one monk has roses and another one has lilies on their tunics. And of course the roses stand for desire and lily stand for knowledge, so desire for knowledge is represented also as well. It's about unlocking the subconscious channels and mysteries and allowing yourself to sort of experience it. It's a major arcana card. It's a really, really powerful card. And of course it's clarified by the 9 of Wands, which is an important message here from the divine as well, because the 9 of Wands is a card that suggests you may feel a little bit beaten down by all the hard work and everything that you've had to overcome up to this point. So this person, we see this person, and I kind of feel a lot of respect for this person. I kind of feel a lot of admiration, because this person is standing there and they're refusing to give up. They know what they want. They know what they believe in. And they know how to get there as well. I mean, he's determined. He's determined and he's not kind of giving up, which is really amazing. Definitely could signify that you've worked hard, but you still have a lot of hard work to accomplish. It could be that you're thinking what you're going to do, planning, strategizing, and thinking how you can use the fruits of your labor that you've acquired thus far. But the idea is that you're not giving up and that you're protecting what you really believe in. And the Hierophant, of course, is guiding you, really receiving knowledge from the divine. It almost makes me feel like someone up there, Aquarius, is helping you. Yes, you are in this physical world, in this 3-dimensional world, doing everything that you need to do on your end, but there's also someone, perhaps an ancestor, perhaps an angel, but someone has been touched by your life and someone has been touched by your story, and it's almost like they're really working hard in order to kind of guide you in the right direction. The Hierophant is really powerful. Let's see if we can clarify some of this with the 3 energy oracle cards that I pulled, if I can reach them. We've got victory, that's good. We've got caring connections, and 5th chakra archangel Gabriel. I mean, victory also corresponds with the Ace of Cups, a really wonderful card to have. It's all about success and achievement. This card shows a beautiful spirit holding a golden victory wreath in acknowledgement of your achievement. Success is on its way, and you have a sense of pride in what you've worked to accomplish. The achievement may be a great outer success, or it may be a deeper inner change that you've been exerting a lot of effort toward. Enjoy this sense of accomplishment, but be careful not to rest upon your laurels. People expect outer triumph to bring great changes, but often there may be still inner work to do. Let yourself be open to victory on every level. And of course, carrying connections is a card of friendship, perhaps a possibility of love. When this card appears, be on the lookout for new connections presenting themselves. The relationships you already share may become more intimate, more purposeful, or present at this time. Notice the opportunities to forge new or deeper bonds. There may be a tender karmic connection at hand. So the divine is suggesting here that there's probably someone you haven't noticed. Make sure you pay attention. Make sure you're a little bit aware. And of course, the powerful Gabriel, Archangel Gabriel, is all about self-expression and speaking your truth. The angel holds a beautiful orb of blue light in his hand and a trumpet in the other. He's sending powerful energy to your throat center, acknowledging your power to communicate and your readiness to do so. Aquarius, you are amazing in communication. You are truly amazing in communication. You know the right words to say. You know how to say them. So make sure that you fully express yourself. This angel opens you up to a truthful expression both with yourself and others. You may have had trouble with expressing emotions and ideas in the past, but Gabriel is here to tell you that your soul longs to take this leap. Be aware that true communication includes how you speak to yourself, so never deny your profound integral value. Speak up for yourself. Write in your journal. Let your words flow. The reason you want to write in your journal is if you want to communicate with someone and you're not sure how to go about it, it's very important to write, rewrite, because when you're writing and rewriting, it helps you formulate your words. It helps you formulate how you feel. It also sometimes helps because you can't speak out loud for whatever reason, So it's important to write. It is a healthy skill that everyone should have and everyone should develop because it, moves you forward towards your goal. This card could also indicate a communication project coming up or a time of heightened communication with spirit and telepathy with others. Let's see what answers from angels we have, and they are big happy changes, forgiveness, and get more information. So there are two powerful things that I use in order to manifest things to come our way. That is attitude of gratitude. So gratitude really helps remove obstacles and move forward. And forgiveness, because it releases that difficult energy and lightens your load so that you're able to move forward. It could be forgiveness, to yourself for mistakes you've made in the past. When, how would you know if you're starting out in your life, not to make a mistake or whatnot? Sometimes people have to experience things. It's okay to make mistakes. Failure is okay. It is part of a learning experience. It's also important to remember that others need forgiveness as well. But sometimes I understand that it is difficult to give. But still, it is something that we should all strive for and we should all practice. And the more we practice, the easier it becomes. And of course, you have an incredible year ahead of you. You're going to have an amazing time. Big Happy Changes is really a powerful card. And of course, make sure that you check and double check all the information before you're signing any kind of contracts or before you're sort of going down the road where there's a lot of information involved. You want to make sure that, especially in this day and age, you double check things, triple check things, quadruple check things, just to be careful. Let's see what mystical wisdom cards I pulled, and they are 7 Deadly Sins, Humanity's Destructive Traits. Good fortune, invite magic in. Enlightenment, yeah. That is very much felt with the Hierophant card. You are gaining that spiritual knowledge that is going to help with your intuition, that is going to help you with relationships, and it's going to make them deeper. It's going to increase the connections. The seven deadly sins. I don't think I've ever received that card, but I'm looking it up. And so it says, welcome to the world of humane nature. The seven deadly sins are at the root of all destructive behavior. Greed and other negative traits drive harmful human activity that impacts the quality of life on Earth, particularly the environment. It is a lack of concern for the preservation of Mother Earth and all these humans' destructive traits that are leading to the devastation of life on this planet. Seven deadly sins is sloth, laziness, gluttony, overindulgence, lust, and intense desire, greed, excessive pursuit of material possessions and power, wrath, extreme feelings of uncontrollable anger, envy, discontentment aroused by another's good fortune, and pride, excessive self-love, and arrogance. The divine here is communicating to kind of, it's interesting. I've really never received this card before. It's like on this side of the card, we see all these people suffering and poverty and disease and, pollution. And here we have sort of this goodness creature that is all about nature and authenticity. So definitely sometimes, this reading to me has been very much about spirituality and making sure that you are in tune with different vibrations that are happening around you, and making sure that you do what you can in order to make this world better. And of course, good fortune, invite magic in. That is a really wonderful card to have. The divine is smiling on you and reminds you that all good things are coming your way. You deserve your heart's desires, so allow yourself to feel good now. When you send out positive energy and you're ready to receive, Providence gets into action. You don't need to understand how this happens, just trust that the universe is at work and will rearrange itself to make the right things happen for you. After you've asked for what you desire, give thanks and trust that it will occur. The affirmation for this is, I trust in the magic of life to fulfill my desires. A lot of times people want to know, well, how? And the answer is always, let the divine do its work. The divine is far better organized than us humans in this physical three-dimensional world. It's important to remember we are spiritual beings that exist in many different levels. We're not just our ego. This is what the ego does. It's important to remember that ego sometimes drives us to do things that can be harmful to others as well. When we kind of ascend and, increase our spirituality, we move past our ego and we realize that it is basically just a tool. I hope you enjoyed this reading, Aquarius. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for visiting my channel. I will be posting yearly videos later this week, so make sure to check back for that. Again, if you enjoyed watching this video, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.